guys, Kamina the coach here. Still on. I maybe I should change the name of the channel to Kamina the Transracial Late Discovery Adoptee. I feel like it's just consumed my whole world right now, and everything that I'm doing for self-development is geared towards this, and it's all I can think about because I ignored it for so long. It's so crazy to see how much it affects who I am and who I've become. And it's almost a travesty to me that I've done all this self-work, but it hasn't been self-work that's been aimed at addressing the adoption trauma. So please, 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 can you please bear with me while I work this out with you? Because I don't have anyone. So I really need to work this out with my family, my virtual family, the people that are out there that love and support me just because we're human and just because you have a heart for other humans. So can you just bear with me as I walk through this journey? So this video is about something that was really hard for me, and is still really hard for me. It makes me feel not so alone when I hear other transracial adoptees talk about how they kind of freak out when people make fun of their race or say something racist. I do freak out, but it's really all on the inside and you really never see it. And if I have an option, I will just cut you off or block you rather than address it. I guess this video is about boundaries, not being able to set them as an adoptee, and being able to put a stop to things that I don't like racially without being shamed for it. My search angel, both of my search angels actually, I had one to begin with and now I have a new one. Both of them are white women and I appreciate them. I do wholeheartedly, and I love them. I adore them. The triggering is inadvertent. But my current angel, when I mentioned, so again, going off the assumption that if my birth mother was what my adoptive mother said and is actually Italian, that makes her white, essentially. And so for those of you who haven't been following and you didn't hear the story, my white family was quite racist and didn't treat me well. Very racist. And didn't treat me well. And anytime I tried to address our differences in color, I was gaslighted. What are you talking about? You're as white as I am. Often. Often. So shamed into silence. So knowing my past, it helps people understand why I would be very so I think everyone has bias. Everyone. I think we're just built in with bias. So I don't hate white people, but in general, I'm terrified of white people. I'm terrified of the interactions, of not being able to be my authentic self, of not being able to be a proud black woman without being attacked for that, and without being criticized for that. Again, it's just an assumption that my birth mother is white. Because I love Mexico the way that I love Mexico and Mexicans, and that one of the countries where I've really felt welcome and loved, it would be awesome if my birth mother was Mexican. But odds are she's white. And what I said to my search angel, who is also a birth mother, so I have a lot of sensitivity and compassion towards her. I have a lot of compassion and sensitivity towards my birth mother as well. I can't imagine what it would be like to create a baby and then have to give it away once you birth it, once you labor this child. I know it's got to be hard. So again, so you will see in me a lot, my compassion will hold me back from my truth and my pleasure and my passion. So I said to her, I'm not as interested in finding her as I am in finding him. She was like, She was like, I would encourage you to explore with inside of yourself what makes you feel that way. I felt shamed. So in studying other adoptees, I found two guys that were adopted from South Korea. They're awesome. And they talk about little things being triggers, like they feel like people are attacking them. And I didn't necessarily feel attacked, but I did feel shamed. And I feel like what I said was probably a trigger for her, and she probably didn't even realize it. As a birth mother, she probably empathizes and sympathizes with my birth mother a lot. And probably to hear me say that probably hurt her somewhere in her inside of herself. However, having said that, I'm not willing to be part of a situation where there are more lies, where there is more covering up, where my birth family are not allies. Silence equals consent, and silence equals agreement. Consent, and you're okay with it. You go along with it. So, if my birth family, specifically if my birth mother, is not willing to be an advocate, if she's not willing to be honest with her family about her Black daughter, if she can't do that, if she can't verbalize it, if she has any kind of issues or hang-ups with this, it is my right to be able to say, deuces, I don't want to deal with you. Thank you for giving me life. Thank you for giving me away. I didn't have a great life growing up, but I am who I am in spite of that. And we're just going to keep it moving. So I had my one white friend who I know is, it's very difficult for me because I have white friends who I'm not sure are advocates. And that's very hard for me to say. Good people on the outside, but not once have I ever heard them say racism is a problem, white people's attitude is the problem, this entitlement is the problem, and I'm an ally, I'm your ally, and every person of color, I am their ally. I've never heard them say that. So that doesn't necessarily mean it's not true, but I've never heard them say that. They feel scared to me to say that. And if you are scared of that, I have a lot of feelings about it. And so I spoke to my one white friend who I know is an ally, and I can speak freely with her without offending her, or without her being overly sensitive, because she knows it doesn't have anything to do with her specifically, right? She is also a longtime social worker. We taught together in Saudi Arabia. Cindy, if you're watching, I love you. So I talked with Cindy about this huge weight on my shoulder that my angel put there inadvertently. And it just hangs over me like this cloud. And I felt a lot better when I talked to Cindy. She said, start writing your letter now and letting this woman know if she wants to be part of your life, that she's going to have to be an advocate. She has to be able to accept no lies. She has to be able to accept you as the Black woman that you are. And that felt really good to me. Still this gnawing, right? So I'm, again, overwhelmed with my compassion for this woman who birthed me. Overwhelmed with compassion. So if she was in love with the man who was my father, if she was in love with this beautiful Black man, and got pregnant out of wedlock, and completely shunned by her family, not able to be with the man that she loves, and then even worse, birthing your baby and having to give it away. But here's where it gets worse, right? Meeting that child 42, 43 years later, hearing that her life was horrible, that she gave her up for something that wasn't great. So hearing that your child that you gave away, that you loved, that you created, experienced something really bad, and then to have her tell you she doesn't want a relationship with you. Can you imagine? Ugh. I don't want to do that to anyone. I don't want to hurt. I don't want to hurt this woman. I don't want to hurt her any more than she's already been hurt. I mean, we're both hurt. I don't want to hurt her anymore. I don't. And the reason I'm doing the video about it now is because I needed to talk about it. I need to talk about it over and over and over again. I'm mad that I can't address racism when it comes up. I don't have a voice. My adoptive family took my voice away from me I'm a black woman, and I can't be unapologetically black. And I am in my mind anyways, but I'm not really. Because I can't speak up for myself, or I don't have the courage to speak up for myself. I don't trust myself, because the anger that I feel is so unbridled. So I'm never really sure how it's going to come out. And that's a result of that really dysfunctional family that I was adopted into, that never even mentioned that I was black, said the N-word all the time. So I watched another video of an adoptee who met her mother. She's also adopted from South Korea. I feel very closely, it's a lot of South Koreans speaking out. I think there was just a lot of them after the Korean War. There were a lot of children adopted globally from South Korea. So just a lot of them have started speaking up. So a lot of them are the stories that I get to hear. And as a girl adopted from South Korea, and her mother and her sister were going to come visit her, and she told them no. They were going to stay with her. She had just had a baby, and she felt like she didn't have any control. And I've heard several of the South Korean adoptees say that they didn't feel like they had any control. Like they went to go see their families alone and just kind of got sucked into this whirlwind that they didn't have any control of what's going on. And especially in families where they still feel like you're theirs. So it's really important for me for me to be able to express compassionately that I am who I am because of me and not because of her. All of my successes and failures are all mine. She shouldn't feel guilty for the family that got me, nor should she really feel proud for the things that I've accomplished, because none of that is because of her. Only giving birth to me, and you know, so I recognize that sounds callous, but for so long I put other people before myself, and even now can't fully speak my truth because of other people. So I know that going forward, it's really important for me to be able to voice my truth, to be honest with this woman from the beginning, and to stand my ground, and to maintain control. Apparently, adoptees are known for being control freaks as well, which it makes sense, right? Because we want to control the things we can, because there was the fundamentals we weren't able to control right from the beginning. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to lament about today. Set your boundaries. Even when it's with people that you love, it's important. It's not good to sacrifice yourself. It's not good to sacrifice your mental health to try to please other people because you want to be able to enjoy your time together, not you be miserable and them be happy. It's just not fair. So this is really like me speaking to me. We all need to set boundaries, but this is really just me speaking to me. Kamina the coach, set boundaries and stick to them. Next time I speak to my search angel, I'm going to make sure to let her know how I felt and how I feel, and that I've spent a lot of time reflecting on this. And yeah, so thank you for listening. Kamina the coach, sending you love, light, peace, and joy. Until next time.